What's up, YouTube? What's up, you guys? How are you doing today? This is William Wade. I'm the owner of Ascent Cleaning Solutions and Wade Global AI. I built a service-based business and I put a system in place, and now I actually use AI to actually run the cleaning business and help other cleaning business grow. So today I want to talk about how AI can help service business owners buy back their time. Now, when we looking at certain things to happen in our business, a lot of times we overlook some of the important steps or some of the things that we end up doing as owners. And some of those things is what happens after the job is secure. After you clean the building, after you set up an account, or after you have done a service for a client, what happens next, right? So a lot of times we are the people that are doing the next step. So I have my cleaner clean the building, and then the follow-up goes to the owner. Or if there's an issue, it goes to the owner. Now, with AI, those issues can be handled. Now, before I did that, I actually ran with VAs, right? I have my VAs, and a lot of times my VAs will handle some of those issues. But again, that's my talk for today. So I want to get into it. And I got a lot of tips to actually help you out. If you don't know, or if you are lost in what you're doing after the job, or you might not even understand what I'm talking about right now. So if you stay tuned, we'll get into it. Some of my lessons as I've learned along the way, and giving some people time to get in, see if I can get a crowd going today, and if so, we can have a good conversation. A lot of times when I'm going live, I get a lot of energy when other people chime in, leave comments and stuff. So I look forward to those times. And today, let's see, I got me some notes over here I'm going to use. After the job is done, most owners still have the second job, right? And so remembering everything that should happen next. That's the next job. Remembering everything that should happen next. So after you do the job, what happens next? Let's talk about it. All right. So today I'm going to use my slides. All right. So we're going to go back here. We're going to talk about the work is finished, but the owner is not free. All right. Most owners do not lose time because the task is hard. They lose time because the task keeps running or returning with no system. You have to remember what to do. Then you have to rewrite it. So every time you close a client, you do the same thing over and over, and you just write the same thing over. You do it every time. That's when you need an automation. All right. And then you recover. So if issues, reminders, on the next touches, fallbacks on the owners, again, the business owner, let me see if I can move that out the way. It said the business only follow up when the owner remembers. The owner is still the system. And so I'm really big on putting systems together and actually getting the owner out of the business and building infrastructure. What does that actually mean? So I started doing infrastructure in my company, and when I started to bring that word out, a lot of people didn't understand what is infrastructure, right? What is that? That's something taboo to a lot of business. Now we know infrastructure on a house. We know that is how the house is laid down, and the pillars and stuff that's actually put up, and then you put the bricks and all of the stuff around the infrastructure. But in business, what is that? Right? What is the infrastructure? And for me, it's the systems and the operations and the not operation, operational systems and the automations. That's the word I'm looking for. Automations that go in. All right. All right. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So what we want to do is, before we talk about tools, we need to talk about what actually is still in the owner's time. So we do have tools that we can use, but what's actually still in your time? All right. Let's see if we got some here. Oh. All right. AI does not create freedom by itself. AI creates freedom when the business owner already knows the next step. Unclear AI processes, again, clear standards. Freedom is not doing nothing. Freedom is not being the only one who remembers everything. All right. So I'm just going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to get out of my slides right now, because sometimes I'm working that in, and I want to get into it, but um I kind of like just to actually just, again, I say it every video. I'm working myself into using slides. I'm working myself into being able to teach a little bit more on AI. So as I do these, um, bear with me. I'm going through the process of figuring out how do I actually look like. How do I actually want to bring this to the community? How do I actually want to introduce what AI is actually doing for the community? All right. So the buyback time. All right. So the real bottlenecks that we have, the job is ended, the job ends, but the owner keeps remembering to check in, the notes, the review asks, the next appointments, and the quality recovery. What happens after the job is done? So say the work after the job is often small but consistent. So say that the work after the job is often small, but it's consistent. So what it's saying is that after the job is done, and again, I'm using notes and stuff. Again, this is not me. This is not me. I'm looking to get more polished, and it is coming off very odd to me. But all right, so let me just talk about what I've just built. So recently, what we're doing right now, we have a system that's set up, and the system that we have set up is actually doing all of the follow up and all of the things after the job. So I want to get to talking about that, but the way that I set it up and how to get there, it's just not flowing for me yet, right? So I continue to attempt to use bullet points. I continue to attempt to use slides to actually bring more effect, but I just like to talk. So what we need to know now is what after the job. So what all issues can happen after the job? First of all, we need to send out a review, right? So sending out review. Next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that the cleaner had a good night, good clean. So after I sent out something, I asked the cleaner how it was. If you're the person who have to follow up every time, then again, now you have to follow up. You have 5, 6 cleaners you hire. You have to follow up with each one of them. You can have automation actually follow up with each one of them, let you know how the job went, let you know if they had any issues also, and they can give that back to you. Also with the client, after the client is done, we actually send a follow-up email, or we may send a text message to see how the job was done. Again, that's all automated. And we want to make sure that we're not treating every client the same, because every client did not want to be talked to the same way. So we kind of use a diverse kind of way of following up with our team. Our clients, just because everyone is different. So what I like to do when I meet a client, I ask them, hey, what is your preferred method of communication? And then I log that into my CRM so I know exactly how they want to be communicated. That way, when we actually following up, we're following up the way that they want to be followed up with. But then I don't have to remember all of that. So it's challenging if we have 30 clients and then you have contacts, and then you have to figure out this one likes email, this one likes text, this one wants you just to get on the phone and call. Right. So with all of that set up, you want to make sure that you have automations. You want to make sure that you have something that actually gets those things done for you. All right. So the best thing that I have seen since AI has come out is the customer service. Customer service has went up tremendously. And a lot of times people would tell you that, hey, it's going to take the humanism out of it. That's not true. It allows you to bring more tailored solutions to the people that you're serving. My people love the way that we follow up now. And it's all because we have certain tools that we are using to actually set up for follow up. We actually know how to talk to them because we actually take data from the client and actually use that in our follow ups. And it's not just me having to remember everything, right? If I had to remember everything, the whole company is going to shut down. This is one of the things that holds companies from growing, and it held me from growing for a long time. It was because I had to approve so many different things. I had to be the person to say yay or nay on so many different things. I had to actually just step out the way and let things fall. And I tell people that all the time, and they're like, man, what? But I did. I had to allow the system to actually gel, the people that I had around me to actually gel. And so what I'm learning as talking to more cleaning business owners, they have people working with them, but they're not building a cohesive team to actually take over for them. And that's one of the things that is hindering a lot of companies' growth in the cleaning industry. So what you can do, and what I was showing people a long time ago, is actually I shifted it, right? Instead of looking for the boots on the ground people, I was looking for VAs. right? And so behind the scene, I have my admin set up, my finances set up, my emails going out, my follow-up for my proposals done, my proposals being done, my social media being set up. All of that stuff could be offshore to VAs because I was struggling with getting people to get in the buildings. And so while I was trying to run my social media, follow up with clients, making sure the job is done, and hire people, that's a lot on the business owners. So to actually alleviate some of those things, we actually start to set up automations. We start to actually have SOPs. We start to actually put things in position and place so that it can run without you. Now, one of the problems that I do see people having is they don't write this stuff down. They don't have it. And anytime someone say write it down, they run away like, oh man, it's work. Well, it actually helps you to get out of the work when you have something that you can hand to someone, or you can actually have a system that follows a regimen over and over and over. Another thing that happens when you buying back time after the job is done, you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. And I did say write it down, but the reason that you want it documented, we can say documented because it's a lot of different ways to do it now, is so that you can see where the holes are. If you had somebody that you did a one-time clean and you followed up in 3 days and you didn't hear anything, then you know that maybe that 3-day follow-up may have been too long. I started that when I first was doing a cleaner. When I first started doing this system, I did not want to follow straight up because I wanted the client to actually feel the new floor that we just waxed, or feel the essence of the team coming in the building. And then when I followed up 3-4 days later, I would get no response. So I realized that if I wanted to get a response, I need to follow straight up. So sometimes I do it right then on the spot. I would talk to a client, and right when I'm finishing, I would say, hey, do you mind getting us a review? Or do you mind, how was the service? Or how did you look at it? And walk them through it, right? A lot of people know that. But when you start to hire people and you have people in the buildings, do they know that? How is that done? How is that transpired? How is that communication going? Do you say, hey, how you doing? Or is it something you want your company to be a little bit more laid back? You walk in professional. So all of those things right there is what we want to make sure that we know. And it's to the minute detail that changes your client, your business from another business. And then you capture that, and then you use AI to reproduce that. Now, it's been amazing for me. Like I'm telling you, my whole cleaning business is run by agents. Now, of course, the agents don't do the cleaning, but my whole team. As I want something done, I submit it to my agent. My agent submits it to the team, and now they having a meeting right now that I'm not in. They have it at the same time I do my live. And when they have the meeting, I get my meeting notes, right? And so this is after the job is done. All right. So after the job is done, and I'm not just talking about the work. I'm talking about everything, like a meeting, right? After the meeting, after my VAs and my team hold the meeting, then I get the meeting notes. How did I get the notes? I don't have my VA send it to me every time. It takes the transcript and it runs it through a system, and I get the meeting notes in about 30, 45 minutes automatically. And it's something that I don't have to think about, because what I was doing at first, I was having my VAs, hey, did you send the meeting notes? Oh, I forgot it. I'm sending it in the morning. And so we'll throw off my time frame because I'm looking for a meeting notes, let's say at 10 p.m. because my VA is in the Philippines. So I'm looking at meeting notes at 10 p.m. because they had a meeting at 7. So I'm trying to check it out, but they didn't do it to the next day. And now I'm busy on something else. So buying back my time is come with AI, because now I have my agent or a system that actually pulls the transcript, uploads it, and actually gives it to me through my dashboard that I'm looking at. I'm gonna get to showing you my dashboard a little bit later on, probably next month. I want to go more into going in depth with what actually AI can do for your service-based business. I'd like to say service-based business because with AI, I can do a lot for a lot of different companies. I work with a barbershop, cleaning companies, a product hair care company. What else? The other person, a business coach that actually sells interior decoration to their clients. So with AI, you can actually service a lot of people with the same system, right, that you created inside of your service-based system. But first, you want to create the system. And so I know a lot of times people hear automation, they hear systems, and they don't know where to start. So my job right now is to implement or teach you or show you exactly what I'm doing. And so you can actually see if you need it or if you don't need it. And that's my goal. So I want to talk about, again, we talking about today buying back time after the job. What do you do after the job is complete? Now, uh, after the job is complete, what I used to do was I had to make, again, I had to follow up with the client. So the next day I make a call. I follow up if they're not there. All right, after that, then I want to see if we can do repeat services. If it's just a one-time service, I want to see if we can stay top of mind, so when they need another service or if they need window cleaning or something else, I can get in there. Now, for me, I didn't like to bother people. After I got through with the one time, I will forget to follow up to stay in there, stay top of mind. So what I set up was an automation. Now, after the job, we put in the ticket fires off the automation, and now the person is followed up. After the follow up, then they stay top of mind, and we send something maybe once a month, depending on who they are, quarterly, right? And so what that has done, it has had people call me back. I just had a person in a Lash Lounge in a building. They called me back after they had severed service with us, and it's because we stayed connected, right? And so after the job is done, how do you buy back your time, right? What are you doing that can be automated, or what are you doing that can be uh, done to somebody else, right? I mean, something else could do it. That's one of the biggest keys in right now. The biggest key right now is making sure that we are familiar with what we actually doing day to day. I used to hate that. When I first started my business, I used to hate this. People say, write down what you do every day. That's so much work to write down what I do at 10 in the morning, 11 o'clock. What am I doing every day? But right now, many of you are using AI. Many of you are talking to Chat GPT. All you have to do is tell it what you're doing, like speak it straight in there. Talk to it like I'm talking to you right now. I know a lot of people that get on Chat GPT, they texting it in their phone, they texting it. No, hit the audio button and talk it straight out, and then have it put some stuff together for you, right? And then after that, now you have what you need to automate. Now you have what you need to buy your time back after a job, right? After the team leaves, right? I don't want to think about nothing. I don't want none of that to come to me. Only thing that I really want to do, and only thing that I do now in my cleaning business, is do a walkthrough. I do the walkthrough, and that's it. That's it. And I do the walkthrough now because I'm creating a bid platform that actually sends out my bids. So a little bit more about how AI works for me right now. So everything that I have is connected through AI in my cleaning business. And what I mean by that is when I do a walkthrough, I have a bid platform that I put all my bids in, my measurements, if it's DCT, carpet, all right. And then I look at the bid, I hit submit. It sends it straight. Right when I walk out, it sends it straight to the client, right? Straight to the client and starts the follow up process. After the job is done, how do I back my time, right? My job is to go in there and do a walkthrough. After that, I don't do anything else. That's it, right? And then I see the system following up, and it follows up for 3 weeks, right? 21 days after the walkthrough, I have it's following up. It's following up. I have it's message to my VA, have them to call. I have a couple of emails. I have SMS that goes out, right? And so I don't want to miss the opportunity to close a deal because I didn't follow up. And that was one of my weakest points. The whole time I've been in business, one of my weakest points after the walkthrough job is done, the follow up, setting a proposal. It took me a long time because I have to get into numbers. Now, I'm a numbers guy. I do love numbers. But if now the numbers can be done right when I do the measurements and I can look at it, oh, that's so much better. So much better. I don't even have to remember it. And so I take my pictures, I upload it all in the bid platform, and boom, I send it on to them. And so I'm working on one right now that came back to me today, and she said that since she's a government a building, she's a library, she's a government building, that she needs a beginning and end date. So I had to update it, right? And so I have my VAs updated, and it goes back out, right? I just go to the walkthrough. Now, to get there, it took a minute. It took a lot of losses, man. It took a lot of losses and a lot of lessons, right? To actually understand how to actually build a team, right? And I think that's another thing that we missing inside of uh, our businesses is team building skills, right? We so busy building the business that we forget to build the people that's helping us build the business. And that's another big thing. So how are you communicating with your team? Well, again, I have automation. So my team gets a update of things that's going on in the company and it brings them together, right? And so I want them on the same mindset, right? It doesn't matter if you're working in the morning or you're working at night. This is one company. I need y'all to be on the same mindset. Even if I'm dealing with subcontractors, I make sure that I send out something to them because I want to know if they're available for new buildings to come in. I want to keep the line of communication open. And so a lot of times, us as business owners, we don't communicate that to the team. We don't communicate that to the people that we're working with because, again, we're too busy. So after the hiring, after you bring somebody on, what's done after that to keep the system going? What's doing after that to keep the culture going? Right. So another thing we do, we have values, right? How are you showing the values of your company to the teammate? You got to be able to build them with the same mindset and have the vision of the company. That's where I think a lot of us are missing because we hire different people from different areas and we put them in buildings, but it's a collective mindset that must come together from some place. And so if you're the owner and you have systems in place, now you can filter those things out through automation or AI, however you want to do it, and you filter it out to your team. Some people that are invested, some people won't be invested. The people that are invested show you that, hey, those are the people that you can hand the buildings to. Those are people that you can have them to do inspections. Those are the people that, hey, I can hand you to run the meeting. And so my manager, I have a partner, and I have an inspector, a supervisor, and they have a meeting together. It's just four of them. And my VA, it's just four. So four of them have a meeting. And then we have about, I think, four other people that works for us right now. So a total of eight people. Um, and you'd be amazed what you can do with eight people, like for real. Um, so a lot of times, again, I hear people say, I need this, I don't have a team. I don't have the right people. You create those people. Like it doesn't happen overnight unless you have the money to buy somebody. Like you ready to just purchase another company. Like if I had it the way I could do it, I would go and buy somebody from, like, to say, a Jan Pro ops manager or Janet King ops manager, and just bring them over here and pay them a salary, right? But a lot of us small business owners, as we grow, we don't have that. So what we have to do is, as they say, put in sweat equity. Now, how are you educating your team? A lot of times people will want to work with you because of the knowledge that you have and the vision that you have. Are you infusing them with a vision? Are you keeping them motivated? Are you staying positive? People like positive energy. I've had people working with me and say, man, I just love your energy. And so when I stopped dealing with my teammates as much and I started delegating those, I still have to find a way to communicate my value to my team. And so we do it through software. We do it through emails, right? And so I have my top team, my them, and they handle it out to the other people. Um, Again, but that's just where I am now. So I say buy back your time when the job is done. It means a lot. It means a lot. Hiring somebody, as we were just talking about it. What do you do after you hire somebody? How are they nurtured? Like the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Do we even do that? All right. So recently I have been more adamant about my team wearing their uniforms. And the reason being is because now I'm looking to scale up and take on bigger clients. For a certain time, I wasn't looking for that income growth. I was looking for more internal growth. And so this is where a lot of this AI coming from for me, a lot of the systems that I put together, it was me focusing on the internal growth of the company. If you follow me by any means, you'll hear me tell you that a tree grows four ways, right? And a company does as well. It grows up, and a lot of times I connect that to the revenue. You shoot the revenue up. Tree grows out, right? So the trunk grows out, the branches go out, and so you get a further reach. All right. And then you have the roots grow deeper, right? So you have, the longer you're in business, the deeper the roots are in the community and things like that. But the fourth one, a lot of times people overlook. And that fourth growth is the internal growth. A tree actually grows rings on the internal growth internally to actually show you how old the tree is. Now, a lot of time in business, we forget about that internal growth. We so busy trying to catch another contract. We're looking to trying to pay these bills. We're looking to try to pay these cleaners. But the internal growth of the company is stagnant because we don't focus on the growth of the culture in the company. So we're not actually giving them values, right? If you look at a big company, they have like a value on the wall and they have the values written and what they mean and the mission statement and things like that. You would not believe how important that is to bringing a company culture to the team, right? So after the job is done, how do you buy that back that time? How do you bring the company culture to the team? How are you actually making sure that they're using the values that you created in the company in their everyday life? What we do is we actually have them have a value in the meeting. So when the meeting comes about, they actually talk about the value, one value that they like for the week or whenever they use, and then they see how they implemented it. Right. So how do I check that? Well, again, AI for service business. I pull the transcript after the meeting and I see what their meetings are. I see what they're talking about. That way I don't have to be in the meeting. I don't have to be on the job. And I really don't have to pay too much attention to what's going on. I just have to observe the signals that's coming to me. Now, to actually get there, I had to weed out a lot of noise. I had to weed out a lot of noise. It was a lot of unnecessary stuff, right, to actually set it up. And so I'm trying to figure out where I want to go with that conversation because let me see. I got some people. I got go to people in here. All right. So, but I got to see where I want to go with the conversation because a lot of times, like I like to say, hold on, I just lost my thought. Using AI to bring the culture of the company and making sure that the culture of the company is there. Then don't worry about it. Let me get to another slide. Let me go to a slide. All right, so the time back loop. All right, so 6 moves, one after the job standard. So you capture, all right, you have a trigger, then you have a standard. The owner sets the rule, AI prepares the draft or whatever. The human is in the gate. You can have a VA or something like that, and then you measure the outcome. So after the job, you capture the repeat step. So, all right, so let's see what is a repeat step. Anything that you have to do multiple times. After the job, one of the things that we have to do, we want to send a review out. We want to see what's going on. How was the job? How was the clean? So we want to capture that. All right. You want to capture that. What is that structure like? All right. Now, what is the trigger? All right. A trigger is something that actually fires off a automation. So after the job, you'll capture the job that's done through a form. That form submitted was sent off a trigger, right? And now the owner's standard, my standard, will pop into place. The follow-up, the cultivating of the client or the potential client. And then AI prepares what needs to happen. I make sure that my VA looks at it. When it comes back in, we measure the outcome and change it if necessary. All right. So that's just a little loop that we have to run to get your time back. Right. So another thing, step 1 to 3, make the next step visible. All right. So before AI helps the business, has to name what it should happen. What should happen? Capture the repeat step. Pick one after job action that happens every time. Check in, review, ask, referral, ask, next service reminder, issues, notes, or internal quality summary. All right. So whatever happens after the job, you want to capture the repeat step. What are you doing every time? All right. And so you got that. Now define the trigger. As in the last one I was just saying, the trigger for that one is a job submitted form. Right. After the job submitted, it sends off the trigger. All right. So the next one is what it says. What proves is the time. What proves it is time? Okay. Yes. What proves it is time? Job marked complete. invoice sent, walkthrough done, issue resolved, or customer reply received. Now that leads me to think about another one. So another one is if we have a complaint. So a complaint comes out. How do you handle that? Are you the person that actually handles the complaint, or do you have a system that when the complaint comes in, it actually routes it to the person that actually it needs to? So what we do is when the complaint come in, I have a system that actually routes it to the person that needs to go. All right. And the human in the loop that I have is my VA. So the system comes in, we have it in clean check. A client will say, hey, we had an issue. They'll show a picture. All right. Then I have a VA that actually look inside the system to see what happened, report it to the cleaner. The cleaner goes back out in 24 hours. The thing is done. They follow up to make sure that the cleaner was that the issue was handled, and then boom, it moves on to something else. And I'm not involved in it. I don't have to see that, right? So what we're looking at here is making the step visible. Define the trigger. What trigger sets off after that repeated step, after that submission, after that invoice, after that whatever? What is that? What is that? That defines the trigger. All right. Now write the owner standard. What is your standard? How do you want it to be handled? Now, one of the things I keep up with, I want to make sure that when I send the email, it's friendly, it's trusting, right? And so I have certain values in my company. Now, how I do it with AI is that what I went with, what I set up my company to do is I have something that I call a business and branding blueprint. I have 18 questions, and I ask those questions about my company and it kind of how my company feel, what's the culture, what's the slogan, all of those things is captured. Now, when I capture those, the value structure and everything, the mission and all of that, I have it written down. So therefore, that when I set my automations up, I use that template that I have for my company, and it sounds consistently throughout everything that I do. So I don't want to send a issue. Say if one of my our value word is trust. We build in trust. Okay, that's our brand word is trust. ACS, we build in trust. We want you to trust us in your building. We want us to trust that we're going to be there. We want you to trust that we're going to be on time. We want to trust us as your cleaning company. So when we send out emails or whatever we send, we want to build that trust along with it. So with AI, what we do is we actually take the business and branding blueprint of what we have for the company and actually runs that through that is a filter to everything that we send out. And so again, that's the standard that the owner will come about put in. When I said write the owner standard, that's the standard that we have right there. So no trigger plus no standard equals owner still owns the memory. So if you don't have a trigger, you don't have a standard, you still have to keep on going. So as I talk to cleaning business owners or other service business owners, I am real big on making sure that we have the value set up. And so why do you want values, Wade? Because the values that you set up in your brand word is very important when you have AI in your business. You want to make sure that you are giving the same tune or tone out to your clients, and it's the same company, so it doesn't feel different. Have you ever had an email that felt different than the person you talked to? That's inconsistency. So for us, our value word is trust. So for us to build trust, we need to have that consistency together. If they talk to me, if they talk to one of my teammates, or if they talk to an email, we want the same consistency coming out. That's what AI has done for me in the service business. It has been able to create consistency for my client. And so I have seen great improvement. Now it's time for me to show the other part of the growth that I was talking about, right? So again, I was talking about the growth in 4 different ways. So we're talking about shooting up, that growth that shoots straight up, that income growth. All right. So I got into this way because when I first started my business, I grew income fast. Like I was at 6 figures in the first year. I actually did like 238,000 my first year in business, right? And so my highest year is 380, right? And so I was everything though. Like I grew so fast when I first got into business that I was everything. And it kind of taught me a lot now because now I see that a lot of times, again, we don't focus on the internal growth of the company. We don't focus on the culture. We don't focus on setting values that the team go by. We don't focus on what brings a team together so that a team can actually move as a unit. We've moved on independently. And that's what one of my hindrance was as I was starting business. I was doing everything, and I was just like, man, before I allow somebody to do it and me keep teaching them and teaching them, I just do it. I just go ahead and do it. It's quicker than me to go ahead and do it. But it keeps you in there longer when you do that. So again, AI for service business. How do you buy back your time? You buy back your time by using structure and using sequences, systems, and automations and AI to actually reproduce that values that you have. So you start with, what are your values? What are your mission? What is the colors of your company? Why do you have those colors? Give everything a meaning. That way, when you actually implement AI structure, it actually use those meanings to the convey that to the client. And again, it's tremendous on service. On service. What's the word I'm looking at? Uh, um, Customer service. It's tremendous on customer service. My customer service for my clients, and I talk a lot about W.A.D.E Global a lot because uh, this is how I help cleaning business owners. But the customer service has been tremendous. Like the support, oh man, it's tremendous now. I've gotten a lot of complaints. I mean, not complaints. I've got a lot of complaints in the future, in the past, on me not following up, and I've gotten a lot of reviews from my clients now on how the customer service has changed. And the only thing it was is that I learned how to use AI. And again, that's what I want to teach. That's what I'm going to teach. I'm going to get better on into it though. Just stick with me. I'm going to get better on into it. So steps 4 through 6. All right. Let AI carry the repeat work safely. Let AI prepare it. All right. Draft the follow-up. Summarize the job notes. Suggest the review as. Service the next action. Now, when I say let AI prepare it, this is what I need for you to understand. Remember, you must send it to a source. Okay, you want to send the AI to a source so it pulls the data for your company. A lot of times, what you're seeing out there is people putting AI slop out, and what they're doing, they're using the regular Chat GPT, they're using the regular Claude, they're using regular stuff, and just say, "Hey, create me an email." Okay, yeah, you could create an email, but what is the source that you're pulling from? Okay, go to my business and branding blueprint. Check out the structure, the values of the company, the brand word, and send me an email that has the tone of the company in it. That's how you want to set up and send an email. So that's where you start sounding like everybody else, and you start to have your own culture, your own what's the word I'm looking for? Your own culture, your own world, so to speak. Right. And so, excuse me. So that's one of the things. Let AI prepare it, but before you let AI prepare it, make sure it's going to a source. All right. Keep human approval. Always put a human in the loop. Now, AI is amazing. It's very great. It's very great at what it does. But you want to keep a human in the loop, because as you start to train your systems and you start to get better at it, you want to keep a human in there. Now, for me, I have my VA. So I train my VAs on how to use AI. And so I keep them in the loop so I don't have to be there. Now, in my cleaning company, I do the same thing. I train my team so I don't have to be there. And I use AI to cultivate the whole connection. And I can actually make sure, again, that the company is branded and sounding correctly without me having to approve everything, because of the documentation that I have my AI going to understand the company. Hope as I hope I, again, I'm easing it into it, because I do know that a lot of people are not into AI like I am. So I want to make sure that I try to stay as what's the word I'm looking for, rudimentary as possible, or as elementary as possible, so that I can build my following up to AI. But hey, I just got to talk about it. All right. So measure time brought back. All right. So this is one that I'm going to start doing now. How much time did I get when I let that go? Now AI speeds up the loop. AI speeds up the loop. It does not replace ownership. So for me, I have VAs. So VAs are in the loop. Now, if I get to do what I want to do all day long. All day long, I run my cleaning company. I help multiple companies grow using putting AI systems in place. Um, and I coach, right? And for me, my schedule is open. Long as you're not on my calendar, I'm free to do what I need to do. And so this is because I have systems in place, and systems are amazing. Now I work a lot because I love learning with AI. I love seeing how that can benefit the next generation or actually help other business owners out. And so I like to be the best at it. Like I'm really, yeah, I like to be the best at knowing what I know. And so, yeah, yeah. So make sure that you measure the time that you got back. All right. So after you let AI prepare it, all right, you keep your human in the loop so that can check it, and then you measure the time you got back. Now, all of that is training, right? You're training a person to actually do what you need them to do, or you training a system to do what you needed to do. So therefore, you are out the way, right? All right. So that's all you're looking to do. All right, so what's next? All right, so we already have that. Let's go. What's next? All right, so cleaning job complete. All right, owner time bought back. Now let's go through it. Job mark complete, customer check in drafted, review request prepared, next service reminder queued, and issue note routed if needed. Now, these are 5 steps. All of this right here, I can show you exactly how this handled. Marks job completed. Now, for me, when the job is completed, they check in, they clock in and clock out. So I can see the job is completed when they clock out. Now, for one-time services, I can see that it's complete because they submit a form. The form comes in, it actually lets the automation know, and then the customer gets to check in. So we get to check in with the customer the next day or a following day. How was the service? That is automatically done. Now, if it's a one-time service, when we check in, we ask about the review. If it's a service that we're doing multiple, a regular service, we wait about 3 months for the review. We don't just get a right review. We wait about 3 months. Now, the next scheduled service reminder. Now, this is automatically set up because if it's a contract, then you know when you're going. If not, we ask them. We've had people that say, "Hey, we get our floors done once a year. It'll be about November." So we put it in November. We follow up with them. We stay connected. And now we're looking for November to go do the floors again. All right. And if you have an issue, how is that routed? Right. So let's go. Let's see what we got going on. All right. So I think grandbaby's here. So yeah, hopefully that helped out a little bit. I'm going to end the live now because grandbaby just got here. So, but hopefully that helped out today. I look to get better with my lives. Stay tuned. Bye.